Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Justin, and today I'm just doing a brief little introduction to the game Citadel Forged with Fire. I've been playing for the past couple of days since release, and I find it overall to be definitely a 10 out of 10 game. And I've had a few friends ask me, and I don't really know how to describe it, so I'm just making this video for the sake of that. So the first thing you do when you go in game is you can press the different hotkeys to open up your inventory, spellbook, crafting, knowledge, house, social, and creature list. Obviously, your creature list is going to be empty. You have to hit level 10 before you can actually learn the pacify spell and tame any animals, but the inventory is very straightforward. This is your actual inventory slot. This is your weight, your capacity right here. Your armor is on the left hand side. You can hold up to 2 weapons at a time. You can have a trinket slot, which the broom also goes in the trinket slot. You can see you right click it, it goes over here. And then you can have 2 different potion slots. And obviously it's ideal to have one as mana, one as health, since the effects don't stack. But moving on, we're going to go to knowledge next, actually. So knowledge is where you learn the ability to craft certain items. So these are your weapons. I'm in staves. Staves are pretty overpowered at the moment. They haven't really done any balancing to that. And then you could learn how to make cloth armor, leather armor, wild armor, which basically is using the furs and bones of things around the world to craft this pretty interesting set of armor. But excited to see how that's going to look in the later levels. And then they just released a patch yesterday which introduced iron armor to the game, and I think that has a lot of potential as well. I don't have the knowledge points to unlock it. I'm trying to stay on top of structures. So next we'll move to trinkets. So before I showed you the trinket slot, these are the magic ring is mana regen, so it regens 1 mana per second, and the 2 mana per second, 3 mana per second, and so on, all the way up to 7 mana per second, which is pretty significant. And then you can move on to magic bracelets, which is 4 to 5 crit chance, and that moves up to 20 to 25 crit chance, which, damn, now I'm looking at that, that's pretty overpowered. Health regen up to 15 second, and the magic amulet, which is armor. There's some other ones you can find throughout the game just by looting them from dungeon chests and stuff like that, but these are just the craftable ones, which are typically more accessible to lower levels. So moving on to utility, you have potions, tamed creature stuff, and flight. So the potions, I'm only in mana potions because my friend has made the health potions so that I can save on knowledge points, and vitality potions we haven't really felt are too useful to us yet. The elixir of amnesia is unlockable at level 40, and that allows you to basically put your knowledge points back into different things this time around. So you reset, you get all your knowledge points back, and you get a reset on your character. So moving on to taming. Taming, you have the binding scrolls. So when you tame a creature, it default has 30 minutes that it'll be tamed for. And if you make a scroll, you can add 4 hours to it with each one of these scrolls, or 8 hours, or up to 14 days, which is pretty, that probably won't last that long, but hey, good on you if it does. And then saddle, you can ride your tamed creatures. Obviously you see me chilling on a dragon in the background. And then the flight has 3 broomsticks. They are pretty costly as you go up, but they're faster and whatnot. And then the flying essence, I haven't really messed around with this too much, but to my knowledge, this is fast and it uses a lot of mana. This is slow and uses not very much mana. And then I have no clue anything about dark flight. All I know is there's like a trail of darkness behind you as you fly around, which sounds pretty crazy. Structures, so there's different platforms here. So you start off at wood, which you unlock at 5 and 10 for the stairs and such. Stone you unlock at 20 and 25 for the stairs and up. And then ornate, which I'm kind of excited for, but as of right now I can't really that's not really too close within reach. The torches are just lighting, flags. I'm sure you know what a flag is. The trophies are just, you can mount different things that you found throughout the world, basically. And then defense on a PvP server. These are significant, and I guess you could use them on a PvE server so that you can prevent monsters from getting too close to your house and don't have to worry too much about them just coming out of nowhere and fucking RKOing you. Then going on to hermetics, so you can make a healing pool, mana pool, and then the generator, which is used to charge the 2 pools. So these will give you or restore mana and health. The throne claims a structure under your name. The respawn stone, if you die, you can spawn at your house. The different storage, which is good. These are like small boosts to your character. Alchemy, so you need a cauldron to make certain level potions. A deconstructor, you can turn gear back into its raw materials basically. Crafting, you've got the forge to smelt ores. You have a workbench, which is used to make your broom or weapons and such. Repair bench, to repair an item. It takes durability after you die a certain amount of times, or depending on different uses, if you're smacking people with it and stuff, it's going to take more damage. And then you have the tailoring bench, which is used to make clothing for the most part. And then going on to spells. So these are spells that you can utilize with any weapon, and then these are your individual weapon spells. So these are my staff spells, or will be my staff spells. I only really have 2 unlocked so far. These are the melee ones, gauntlet ones, and the wand ones. As far as I've heard so far, staffs are kind of like better damage, and then it's good to go into melee because there's just, you can currently use Bloodlust well on melee, and then switch to staves and do like the increased damage, which is pretty crazy. And these are your utility spells. So at level 5 you unlock Extract, which is basically what you're going to utilize to get all of the resources to build and craft and whatnot. And you will eventually unlock Pacify, which you'll use to tame. You can tame deer, or elk rather, you can tame horses, you can even tame like the orcs and stuff running around, but those are a little more difficult. And then you unlock Heal Beam, which you can heal your friendly stuff. And then the one I'm looking forward to is Telekinesis. You can basically pick up objects, rocks, structures, and throw them at people. So that sounds like it's going to be fun. The rest are basic damage ones, except for Gaslight. Gaslight seems interesting as well. I want to see that in use, but basically it's basically like a smoke bomb. You just get out of there. So, real quick, I'm going to fly down into my base down there in the lagoon. We've got this nice scenery up here. And we're going to go down here and do a little structure tour. So we blocked off the edge of this cave so that cave is still accessible to people and we're not being too big of douchebags. Over here we have a platform that we use for putting our dragons at when we're not on. And then right here is our front door. We're going to go to the back door because it's bigger and better. And everyone likes size, you know. 2017. So we're going to open this door, close it so nobody can get in here. That's my friend's dragon. These are our storage chests. You have them organized decently well. Gear, materials and potions, ores, or bars that have been smelted from ores, stone, which I'm going to deposit quick. Okay, this is our forge. This is our raw ores chest. Why does that keep staying? Cauldrons. This is a chest that just spawns in our house. No big deal. This is the workbench, looks like. The tailoring bench. There's a dragon's tail coming through a wall. It happens, you know. This is like our leather and creature taming stuff. It's got some hides and stuff in there. There's some more leather and stuff. We ran out of space before I got the wardrobes, and this place is pretty temporary still at the moment. These are our health and mana pools. So you walk in, you get a small boost of health. This is our rune crystal and high NPC drops. Some more gear. The upper level, just our throne, our respawn stone. We have a lot of empty space in here, but the bottom tends to be crowded. So eventually everything will move out a little bit. I'm sorry for the loud ass sprite. Let me find him real quick. Am I blind? Or is he under the base somewhere? He got stuck under the base. Anyway, moving on. So real quick, I'm going to extract this as I'm walking around. As you can see, it has infinite range. That'll probably get patched at some point, so you have to stay within range, because at the moment I can just extract stuff while I'm running around, get experience from it. It's very minimal experience, but hey. So this is what we use to block off the lagoon from the shore. And this is under my friend's throne, so as you can see the name that pops up at the top there, Julianos, that's my friend, and then Precision is our house. And I'll explain houses in a second, but this just basically blocks us off from here, so nobody can just walk in on foot and grief us. Now I'll go into the... Well, this is crafting. I never showed that, but this is where you're going to do all of your crafting. If it needs a workbench or a forge, it'll say it next to the weapon there. And then house management. So as I just explained, we're in the precision house, so you can be in like a quote-unquote house with your friends, which is basically a guild or a clan that you've seen in other games. You can just interact with each other a little bit. As our saying, fuck bitches get mana. And right now there's only one other person online, which is not a surprise because it's pretty dead at this time of day anyway. And then this is a creature, so the inventory's bugged. It has 500 slots. It's got a decent amount of space for it. You'll kind of learn the weight system as you play. It's something you gotta kind of get used to. And real quick, I'll go up and shoot something, and we'll end the video on that. So combat in this game, as long as there's no lag, which I've been good for the past couple of days, it's actually really nice. It feels smooth, and that's why I prefer the stabs though. Alright, I promise this won't be the only thing I kill. That was just too easy, you know. We'll go take over a cave real quick. But combat in this game, it just feels nice, like the way you can run around and stuff, and still you're not like too overwhelmed by NPCs and stuff. Real quick, I'm gonna take a break from what I'm saying and say this is like a monolith. This gives you like a buff for a short period of time. But anyway, the PvP in this, not PvP, but just like the combat in this game in general is very smooth. So this is a cave. That's pretty close to our house. You could use it for raids and whatnot. It has the precious stone gem or blocks in it. These are precious stone blocks, by the way. They can drop the precious stones, which are used to make certain levels of jewelry and stuff. So we got orcs and stuff in here. I'm gonna, oh, yep, he's already shooting at me. So it's a lot of kiting in this game, especially as a staff user. I have a friend who's melee as well. And these are lower leveled than me, so it's no surprise that I'm just kind of destroying them. And we will loot just their leather, because you can never have too much leather. So the combat can get difficult. Some things are a lot better at dodging. See, that one's just chilling up top, so I'm going to take advantage of that. But I'm awful, so maybe I won't be taking advantage of that. Oh, I let my mana go out. So you can just pop a mana potion whenever you start running out. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna skip these orcs, or not those orcs, but looting them for now. So it's, from what I've read on Reddit as well, people do believe that the stabs are kind of overpowered. So the Mountain Giant has a lot of health. I can take him out real quick, but he's gonna get bugged because of the size of the door here. If I was melee, it would be completely different. However, I've got stabs, so a lot of what I do is either kiting or safe spotting. You just gotta play the game. So there's a dragon in here who I'm not gonna mess with because I don't really have high health. I could technically stand back here and smack him to death, but there's not really any benefit to me sitting here. You know what, I'll do it just for the XP. But dragons don't really have like a nice drop table. They just have like the essences and stuff, which we've already got enough of for now. And I've tried taming this one before. Oh, son of a bitch. I've tried taming this one before, but it doesn't fit out the door, so it's kind of a struggle. Alright, orcs. Why is there so many of you all of a sudden? And I'm hitting the rock, and I'm bad. And you do not want to die. Holy crap, people die. I guess I gotta hit him directly. Alright, let's finish this dragon off and move on. Finish our base raid or dungeon raid real quick. And end the video. But the combat, as you're running around and stuff, feels good. It just like, you can, when you're in game and killing stuff, it just feels very clean. Wands are kind of annoying to utilize from what I've heard and practice with a little bit. But I've always been interested in stats for this game anyway. So it doesn't really affect me too much. There's gonna be a guy up here. I do this dungeon a lot just because it's quick XP for me. So the cool thing about this game is it's like a magic-based sandbox survival game. And it's very interesting. PvP is kind of broken in it, in that you can just heal basically the damage that people are sending your way, assuming you realize what's happening on initial contact. But in terms of like NPCs, like you can typically kill things about 10 levels above you and not have to worry about too much. And I'm hoping that that gets balanced at some point, because right now I just don't have too much of a fear for my life, especially with my base being located at the southern half of the map. But I mean, we're also located down here for safety at the same time. Real quick, that is a Spire Tower thing. It is a fast travel point. So you can go around the map and unlock fast travel points. And you can then, if I travel to this fast travel point, I can teleport to this one or any of the other ones that I have unlocked, which is good for traveling. It's not really ideal since I have a dragon anyway. It doesn't really matter that much, but other than that, I think I covered a bunch of the basic stuff, and hopefully you guys look into it a little bit more and have an interest in the game and eventually download and play. It's in early access at the moment, so there's definitely a lot of updates coming. Even in the past few days, they've just been patching it as it's come out, and they've been doing a really good job of keeping on top of little hot fixes and bugs and such. But on that, enjoy and like and subscribe.